Welcome to the Jersey Crew Fantasy Football Podcast on the road. I am here as always with Ben, but I am in a different location in Pittsburgh this week. So, still coming in, still doing the content, and still frustrated about some Jersey Crew madness that happened over the weekend. So, how you doing out there, Ben? How was your weekend in fantasy football and in general?
Really, really good weekend, actually. But it comes with its blows. It comes with the Omarion Hampton,
I
and I
know.
was like feeling great about all my wins. I am 5-0 in my Jersey league now, my other Jersey league. 4-1 in ours, 3-2 in the camp league, and then we just went to 2-3. But with
Yeah.
some promise in that league, I think. And so looking really good. I mean, a terrible loss by the G men, but
Yeah.
otherwise feeling great. And then I was actually feeling okay about the injury until it was like, all right, when do I get him back? At earliest, week 10. And
Okay.
that's where
Okay.
it's like, okay, this is actually a little bit brutal. Can I make it
Yeah.
as far as I want with the players I have? So, and to risk kind of an offensive question here, how are you doing? I'm
Not
afraid.
well. Not well. This is going to be a tough one, I think. The Godfather had 114 points and is eliminated. Just really,
Uh,
really tough
yeah,
weekend. Another loss in both the game and for Survivor. A poor performance, and we'll go over the team, but just looks ugly. Now the injuries are hitting me. It feels like
yeah,
there's so many out there and it's bound to happen, but now it's hitting hard. I think I have
yeah.
four players with an O next to them, which was not the case for most of this
Oh,
year. And it's just not looking good. It's just not looking good. The quarterback, my kicker, just like the one person that you wouldn't think you would need to, substitute for someone who gets hurt is your kicker, and he goes
yep.
down. I'm like, what in the world? I see someone I picked up. I actually coincidentally I picked Matt Gay up back on my team, so I don't
Did
know.
you?
Maybe I shouldn't have dropped him in the first place, but just ugly, and we'll go over it when we go over the teams, but just not a good weekend in the Jersey Crew. Now, what I will have to say is that in fantasy in general, I've been having a great year. 5-2 again last week in my 7 leagues. One 5-0 team, three 4-1 teams, and two in first place, two in second place. And then I got the Jersey
Wow.
Crew and someone else. So I'm having a great year in fantasy, but in Jersey Crew, holy moly, it is ugly, and it's not looking great. So we'll go over that. But Q gets his first win. But other madness happened too, where that was kind of like a crazy upset in a way, and then DeChamp is here. And do you remember we made a
Yeah.
joke that it was like, oh, these are like bye weeks, these are easy wins. It's never an easy win in fantasy. So anything out of the weekend from that perspective for you?
Yeah, like we should just stop talking. Like sometimes it should just be a silent podcast. No, it's just like crazy because you're so right. As soon as you want to go, oh my gosh, wait, I actually have some control here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna play Saz. You're gonna play Q, and it's not at them. It's just at their teams this year. Here we go. And you're right. It just all turns around. And football, the NFL is like that itself.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
man, fantasy football is like the same exact way because guys can have these weeks that win managers matchups for them, and then it's game over for the other person. And you have just like had this streak of really bad luck this year, continuing to be one of the highest scored against teams
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a cool 130 from Q, who was having a tough time getting over the 100 mark, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. In the
um
last 3 weeks combined.
right. Right. It
Oh
was
yeah, yeah.
tough sledding for him. So yeah, it's hard out there.
What about your game? And I know we used the madness intro, and I was thinking about the madness for the upsets, but yours was a madness. I don't know if it was Monday night, but
Sunday, yeah.
yeah, Sunday night. Tell me a little bit about your game and how it ended up, and if you thought you were going to have it, and just what that dynamic was, because I was not following. I did not realize what was going on, and then in the morning, I'm like, holy moly! Like what happened there? What happened there?
I mean, it was crazy. Sarah's guys did everything they possibly could to 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 win, and they really should have. I'll start actually at the end with saying that if Khalil Shakir had a very easy catch, a very easy ball that was thrown to him for like in the backfield, not but it was a pass and it was for a screen and it was really just going to advance them a few yards, right, and get them some momentum, and he dropped it. And so there was the exact missing piece. But so start at the end in order to understand the beginning, right? And so the beginning then was my struggle for the last couple of days before that Sunday of who should I start, Jerry Jeudy or Sean Tucker? And
Okay.
it's kind of a crazy question, but Bucky Irving is out, and it's like Sean Tucker has really played well when Bucky Irving's been out, last year. And I hemmed and I hawed, and if you look, you'll see Jerry Jeudy 3.5. And I was off to the worst start on Sunday. So I got 31 with Kyron on Thursday. Beautiful start.
True.
Will Reichard and Jerry Jeudy get me a 7.5 combined to start the day. Sarah comes out of the gate. 6.5. Yes, exactly. Sarah comes out of the gate pretty strong, and she's pretty consistent. Scroll down if you can and take a look at Sean Tucker. So I decided to start Jeudy. If you look at Sean Tucker here.
Oh, 2.9 points. Is that the difference in the game?
So I won by 0.12, right? And so that was a difference of 0.6.
Yeah.
And so she would have won.
Wow.
So just little things like that. And then you look at my starters and Mason Taylor, who was a bye week tight end, who, by the way, I have been really big on. I don't know if you remember, but
I do.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about him, and he gets me 17 points. Every point, every fraction of these points. Alec Iomanner, just a joke of a human being, gets me 3.8. Things like that. So she definitely deserved to win this game. Her season could look a lot different if you hadn't come back and beaten her, and if she had gotten the win with me, against me here.
Yeah, have we checked on her? Is she okay?
I mean, she was pretty defeated. If I can air that, if I can say that on in the public sphere here, she was just like, of course this happens. But like she does, she was like, but you know what? I still feel like I have a pretty decent team. So we'll see.
Yeah, that is a tough one. So that's interesting. What about the Bills sit? Krosky Mary. Was there any part of you that wanted to start him in any way?
No, he's just too unreliable. And that this was the game. Actually, having Hampton go on the IR, I needed JCM to have this type of game so I could have some promise as a backup. I was never going to play him. So I don't even really want to consider that, but I mean, it would have been nice.
Okay. All right. And then Drake May, of course, had a down game. That doesn't happen, hasn't happened this year yet.
Right.
Devontae Smith actually played well. I mean, you needed every one of those points too. And we've been talking about how he puts up 3 every other game. And this game, he actually put up about 20. So huge game. I mean, you were sweating it. I know live. I know you knew what was going on. And it came down to that last play, or she had 2 playing at the same time or something.
It was just 1v1. It was Drake May versus Khalil Shakir, almost exactly matched the entire night.
That's right. And that was a crazy game too.
Yeah.
So the funny thing this week in pick 6, it's hard to do, but I went 0-6.
Oh, wow.
So, and again, it's the tightest spreads for the 4 games, and then it's Sunday night and Monday night. And when you think about Sunday night, Bills lost.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, I feel like there wasn't Monday night kind of an upset too? I forget.
Yeah, Jags against the Chiefs.
Yeah, so that happened, and then you had just every game on Sunday just kind of go in a wacky way. Same with our league, with some of our teams losing. So it was a weird Sunday. Injuries still piled up. So tell me about your thoughts before we move off of your team about Omarion Hampton and what you can do to replace him, but continue your success.
So, never would want this to happen, but because of the way that I drafted, which I've spoken a lot about this year, this whole like 3 running backs idea. You don't have to ever start 3 running backs. So it actually does work out nicely if this is going to happen. Now I have 2 solid running backs, one of which has already been on bye. So Bijan is done with his bye. So if he stays healthy and God willing, he stays healthy, then I'm good to go. I put Kyron in, and I only really have to worry about filling those two flex spots with could be another tight end if I want Mason Taylor and Kyle Pitts if they're both playing well, or I just go with like a bunch of wide receivers, and then I get Bill Krosky in there as well. So it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot
Is
worse for me, but I'm gonna miss him.
is any of our teams the same as week one? Like, do we feel the same way about our teams as week one? Maybe other than Sean, maybe, and maybe the champ. I mean, we'll look at his game. I don't really know how he lost, but obviously he lost to Brady Gaga, which was an upset. But does any of our teams look the same as week one?
No. It's like when you go to a pizzeria and you get like the pizza on the tray that you see behind the glass. Like it's still pizza, so you're still excited. But man, it just tastes so different now.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
awful.
yeah. I even looking at my own team. We'll look at mine real quick to um look at it in
Sure.
sorrow because it's just like Daniel Jones. I mean, I was never starting Daniel Jones, week one. Abuka's still looking great.
Oh my
One of my
goodness.
best picks.
Yeah.
Gibbs still looking decent.
Yep.
Brenton Strange, he gets on IR. It's like everyone we're playing is on IR
Yeah.
and getting hurt. And that's the only reason I'm playing Brenton Strange because my Brock Bowers is somehow hurt,
Yep.
and then Spencer, I have him on IR now, and I just picked him up 2 weeks ago, and he's just a kicker, but still IR. Then you got Tootin questionable. Then you got Lamar Jackson, who knows? I mean, he's probably going to sit again. Then he's got bye week, and then he comes
Right.
back. So then Warren just all of a sudden is healthy this week. So maybe I can play him. Or no, I can't. He's on the bye. Oh no, that was last week.
That was last
So
week. Yeah.
I can play him possibly this week. So what a weird turn of events for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
And Q gets his first win. Rico Dowdle. I mean, that's honestly one of the only reasons he won.
Yep.
And I did play him in DFS and came in second in my tournament there.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
How was the opportunity created for Rico Dowdle? Was there an injury?
Yeah. Chuba Hubbard
Okay.
didn't play.
So I mean, I knew about that. Obviously, I didn't know who the first stringer was, but I played him because of that. He played really well. That's one of the reasons he, obviously got that win. Brian Thomas Jr. He just makes a trade, so we'll kind of go over that trade too. Brian Thomas Jr. for Diggs, and do you remember who the third piece was?
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker. All right, and I think
Yeah.
Brady Gaga won that first week in that trade. So even he had less points than he would have with Diggs, and he still wins against myself. The second lowest of the week, Pack Attack was the lowest, but he was already eliminated from Survivor. So there goes the Godfather. So really rough week. And looking at this team, I'm like, this is not the team that I drafted,
No.
And I'm sure, like I
No.
said, 90% of us or 100% of us are thinking the same thing. So any comments on the Godfather or Groovy Q?
Yeah, I mean, great win for Q. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have to say he gets in the same record as you. He's still got a lot of climbing to do, being in 12th. And now that there's a few 1-4 teams, it's going to be even harder for him. But
Yeah.
the next team above you guys is 2-3.
Yeah.
And so as long as you have points and Pack Attack loses, who's that team? One of you could take over. Now you're in the bet. You're the best one for that position because of how much points you've also been scoring.
Sure.
But it in a way it makes it harder for you guys down there. But it also like opens things up a little bit. Is that 7th place is for the taking right now, if Pack Attack loses. I do want to say like love the Dowdle move by him. Like what a great move, and that looks really great. I mean, it looks bad if it doesn't work, but it worked, and it looks fantastic. I think Brian Thomas gives his team a nice aesthetic because now you're looking at JJ, Cortland Sutton, and Brian Thomas as a flex. So, and that's how he's been playing this year. He's been playing as a flex. So, and then just jumping back to your team, like, yeah, you didn't even mention Worthy going in and out for your lineup, right? And then Strange, who actually is playing really well, goes on IR. And that was just kind of like salt in the wound. I don't know if you like saw it real time, but it was just like, are you kidding me? After all this, now his backup, who actually is playing really well and would have given you a chance to at least, fight for it. And for what it's worth, like not for nothing, Spencer Schrader has put up 16, 19, and 11, and then 11 again in the first 4 weeks. And the Colts are a team that are playing well enough to get their kicker in position to score.
Mm-hmm.
So if he gives you 8 more points, and I don't know, there's so many ways this could have gone, but that's killer. That's
Or
where the
how about
kicker kills you.
or how about just Lamar doesn't is not, on my
Right.
bench,
Right.
or Bowers, my son. I mean, we're talking 2 out of the top 3 picks for me.
Yep.
So I went Gibbs, then I went
Bowers.
Bowers, and then I went um,
He must have went Lamar, right?
Lamar. So it's unbelievable. 2 out of the top 3, and this is I'm just venting. I mean, no one is safe this year with injuries. Nobody.
No.
And we're all getting hit up with it, but unbelievable. I will say, with all that madness within our league, but also in the NFL, it actually helped a lot with Survivor, and I'm still alive in 4 different Survivor
Wow.
entries. So I'm happy
Wow.
about that. We're down to 28% of the field left in all 3 pools.
Holy
So
cow.
we're about quarter of the people left, and I'm still alive in 4 entries. So it was helpful in that sense, but every other sense of this madness has been just not good in the Jersey Crew. Again, fantasy in general not bad, but this team just cannot catch a break. So definitely going to need a streak. I play you this week, so we'll go over that matchup. But
Yeah.
I'm going to need a streak of wins to even be considered. And I know anything could happen because Brady Gaga just beat the champ, and that was pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
still, it's just something that's just a little bit demoralizing when you see all these players that you drafted and did well, like they played
Right.
the first couple weeks, now go out. And again, it's happening to everybody, but wow, yeah, that's frustrating. So let's look at this. So Brady Gaga,
Yeah.
I made a comment that it was basically a bye week. I mean, this was like, not even like a question of who's going to win, and
Yeah.
he ends up beating the champ. So to Dak Prescott, 36 points, Njoku, 18. I mean, these are some people he picked up off the bench or off the waivers. Diggs in that trade got him 24. Kenneth Walker
Huge.
got him about 10. So is this sustainable? And a down week for DeChamp, which is 123 points. So that's not a bad thing. Obviously, a down week in 123 is great, but not enough to beat Brady Gaga at 142 points. So tell me about what do you think about these two teams, and if it's kind of descriptive of what they're going to be going forward, or just a one-off?
Yeah, it's such a great question because you probably just need more time for Brady Gaga to see like one win in this fashion, which by the way he wouldn't have gotten if Joe had a normal game.
Right, right,
And so,
right.
in order to answer the Brady Gaga question, first, like we could take a look at the champ because if you do a real, like a rapid fire look of who is not going to stay this low, Josh Allen's fine. Zay Flowers is that's probably like his average Zay Flowers, right?
Yeah,
So it's not
yeah,
really a bad game, but it's not his best. Robinson's one where like he's going to have to decide if he's going to be playing him. I really wouldn't feel comfortable with that. James Cook, bad game, right? Cam Scatterbu, Warren, Samuel, all kind of fine, and Samuel is even great. And another actual worry is Jameson Williams, right? So there's
yeah,
2 guys on his starting lineup that like take a look at his bench and tell me
yeah,
who you would put in. Now, of course, he's got Josh Jacobs, so he's fine in that in that respect, and he's got DK Metcalf. So maybe I just answered that question, but
yeah. True, true.
puts those guys back in and he's fine. So I don't know if you agree, but I think Joe is
Yeah.
totally fine.
Oh yeah, I do too. I think maybe it's more of a bye week situation. He had 4 people on bye, 2 of his starters on bye.
Yeah,
Baker went off for 30, so even his backup quarterback, Theo Johnson, played really well for the Giants, and so yeah, he has some pieces. But yeah, interesting to see only 123 points, probably because of those buys. James
yeah,
Cook also doesn't have 5 points. This is his first game, probably under 10
yeah,
points or something
yeah,
like that. So yeah, I agree. And then Brady Gaga, yeah, I would say it's probably just right around the Sars and the myselfs and the smooths, the groovy cues. It's
yeah.
probably all around the same, where it's like one of these teams or any of these teams just have to win. It doesn't really matter your makeup at this point. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
we can discuss our makeup of the teams or the structure all we want, but really it's just filling in pieces. I mean, the trade, the waiver wire, the injuries, like these are not the same teams that we drafted. And one of these teams at 1-4 has to figure it out to say, all right, we got to win a couple games just to be even considered for the playoffs, and that's just not a fun position to be in.
It's not. But again, there is if you went 4-2 and then became 4-4 at week 8, you would never think you were a bad team.
Right, right,
Like, you would never be like, "Oh," and panic. You'd just be like, "Cool, I'm 500. We're over halfway through the season," and you'd be all right. All of those teams have at least a shot at that. Like
yeah,
like mathematically, it is possible. Maybe we can go through those 1-4 teams and say who we like to be that team to get to 500, but um, yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. What I like about Brady Gaga being one of those teams that could emerge is that he's got CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans on his bench. The best like thing you can see on a team that got a win, that had like a boom week for as a team, is that they actually don't even have all their best players out there. So
true, true.
it's not bad for him.
No, no, yeah, I'm looking at the standings now. We got it pulled up. 5-1-4 teams. So this is
Yeah.
kind of the worry of the separation of the league. Remember, we were
Yep.
talking about it might separate, and this is kind of the worry because you have 5 teams at 1-4 that absolutely have to start winning this week, and
Yeah.
they won't have a chance to make it in the playoffs, and that eliminates almost half the league. Pack Attack's hanging out there, then the top six are just going to fight for it unless one of these teams that are 1-4 makes a run. So yeah, let's go through. We have the Godfather with the most points out of the 1-4s. Ladies Love G-Man with the second most. Brady Gaga, Coyotes, and then Groovy Q. So any teams stick out to you that have a possibility? We won't even talk about playoffs, but a possibility of getting to 500 in the next 4 weeks. To go 3-1 over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of faith in Brady Gaga because of that type of win that he just pulled off. He was not only able to get the win, he was able to take down one of the best teams in the league, who has bumped from 1 to, what
It's
was it, 2 or
crazy.
3 to 5.
Yeah, yeah.
That does mean something in a non-divisional league, because you need to catch up on those records. So I do like him for that. There's something kind of like interesting about Sarah's team and the way that she's been playing the last few weeks.
Okay.
Even when she lost to you, right? In what was that, week
Yeah, yeah.
4?
Yep, yep.
She still was able to put up she put up 156 against Q, right? And then for you, she was able to put up 127. So
Yeah,
um
yeah.
I think she's and then she put up 130 against me. So
Yeah, true,
there's
true,
something
true.
there. It's just like a little volatile in my estimation. I don't know like what she's gonna get each week.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I don't know out of those teams. I mean, it's so interesting. You have the teams that are completely different. I mean, Brady Gaga's driving on like 4 donuts. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, like he's just plugging in, and he won that game. So it's like I have no idea. My team is too. Like if I had
Yeah.
everybody that I drafted, I think I'd feel a lot better. Now with these injuries and plug and plays, and it doesn't feel the same. Obviously, Groovy Q feels the same way about his team, I'm sure. So I don't know. I really don't know. I would like to say myself to get the next 3 out of 4 wins, but
Yeah.
that doesn't even seem realistic with the pieces that you have. And then we're entering bye season. Last week was
Yeah.
the first bye week, but that's only beginning, and that's
Right.
only going to continue. So, yay, 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 yay.
Yeah, I mean, it's I still think that you're in kind of a different tier from the other 1-4 teams, just because on paper, if you get Lamar back, if you get Brock to play like what you drafted him to play like, you got Woody Marks, which I think could be a huge pickup down the line, even though he had a down game
Dud.
last week. Yeah. I like, again, on paper there's a lot there. And so flipping it back to you, like, what's the number of losses that you get? Because obviously I have to take myself for this next matchup, right? So uh, in my world, if you get this next loss and you're at 5, like, what's the number that you go, I'm going to keep playing, I'm going to keep playing my players, but I can't keep like telling myself that it's possible.
I mean, 1-5, it's not possible. I don't even think mathematically. So 1-5 would be 6 games. You have 8 more games. You would finish 9-5, right? I, I
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, that's
Wow.
winning 8 games in a row, right? Like so, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really close right now. Um, yeah, yeah. If I didn't need this computer, I'd probably punch it in the. in the desktop. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close to over. I think the next one, 1-5, I think just mathematically, I don't think you're getting there. You
Okay.
have Pack Attack at 2-3. I don't know. You have 3-2 is the worst record in the playoff picture. It's possible, I guess they just lose a bunch, but it just I don't think it's possible at 105. That would be my guess. Right now, if you win a couple right off the bat, maybe you keep yourself in the picture, but after that, it's going to be too tough.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm looking at these too. Like for yourself, you're actually the other than Matt, who Giants and Cowboys suck 5-0. You're the only team with 3 straight wins. So you have the longest winning streak other than the 5-0 team with 3 straight wins. And what do we say? The 3 wins that you have won in the combination or the difference of the win was what, 6 points or something?
It
7
was
points.
6 point something. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
Or so, yeah, it was that little.
In the last 3 games total, you have won combined by 6 points or
Yeah.
so. So you must be, I mean, and that's basically the opposite of mine. Now, my games haven't been always that close, but it's just been like, oh, over and over. And for you, it's like, wow, I keep winning over and over, even when it's close. So, how does that feel to be on that side of the coin in these close battles?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like I know very well what it's like to not be on that side and to
Yeah,
like,
well, sure, sure.
like lose by 1 or 2 or point something. And so it just like some of this is just luck. Like, I don't know. Like I wish yes, I was smart for starting Jerry Judy over uh, you know, Sean Tucker, but like listen to that statement. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. Like,
exactly.
so it just what like a huge relief, but a little bit of a knot, especially with Omari and Hampton going out. And then like when does that turn? Does that stop going in my favor because of whatever? And so there's a little bit of anxiety there.
Yeah, but I mean, me and 4-1 in your position, and the amount of points you won, and or scored, and the amount
Yeah.
of wins you have, even in the close battles, is a big deal. So shout
Yeah.
out to Ben so far this year,
Come
and
on.
like we said, eliminated for myself, and that means Uncle Buck is immune from week 6 with 162 points. So we'll go to his game next.
Yeah.
Pack Attack put up the least amount of points, which unfortunately after that email it has not been great. So he comes in with the least amount of points, but he was already eliminated. And Sean has the most points of the week with 162. Least amount of points with Keenan Allen with 10, but he had multiple over 20, he had a bunch over 15. How do you feel about the sustainability of Sean's team going forward? And do you think he's one of the top 2 teams in the league right now?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. He just keeps doing it week after week. And, to win with 130, 120, 115, to get that win, that means a lot. But to win with 162 is a whole different ball game. Patrick Mahomes, I think I've said it a couple weeks in a row now. Like that's kind of his key. He got
Yeah, it is.
he got he got it right with that. That was not the case for the last I want to say 2.5 years with Patrick Mahomes. And so I think that's his key there. You look at his roster and you go, yeah, these guys can keep doing this. And could they even do it a little bit better? Like, is 162 his ceiling? Maybe not. Maybe it's even
Right.
more. I definitely like this team to just keep pushing forward and make a deep run.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's not a lot of holes to poke. Also, I think he stayed away so far from that injury bug too. Although we joke around with him, drafting to older players, the players that he has drafted has not been hurt.
Nope.
They really have not been hurt. So
No.
maybe a little Chris Godwin, came back from being hurt, but
Right.
in season he has not really hit that injury bug at all. So that helps too. And then Pack Attack, I mean, he's 2-3, but he almost feels like a 1-4 team. I mean, is this a team that you think is better than the 1-4s, or is this kind of a team you group with the bottom half of the league?
Yeah, like, and it has nothing to do with the stark turnaround after the comments. It's more like if Sean hasn't been hit with the injury bug, you look at the team across from him in this matchup and you go, that's a team
Yeah,
that has been hit.
yeah,
We don't even see Malik Neighbors, who's now dropped, and that's the
right,
biggest hit of
right.
all. his number one pick. Bucky Irving, that's just weird too because there's so much mystery around it. It's like how long is he going to be out or in, or it's his
Yeah,
shoulder, it's his ankle, like what exactly is it? And then he got hit up with Chuba last week. Yeah, I think it's not his
yeah.
fault. I think he drafted a pretty good team that showed it could have a big week. This is going to be tough for him going forward.
Brock Purdy too. He had that
And
went
Brock
to
Purdy,
the
yep,
yeah, and Joe Mixon he drafted. I don't know. It's just a tough year, and I think it's going to be a tough year for him. I mean, he is 2-3, so I mean, in his position, he is more likely, probably by a decent amount, he is more likely to make the playoffs than the 1-4s just because of that extra win.
quick turnaround.
But
Yeah,
now he has to, yeah, now he has to really start winning after this. I mean, he has the bottom half of his entire team scored under 4 points or 6 points.
oh wow, yeah, yeah,
Trevor Etienne, Wandra. I mean, look at the players we're playing. I mean, this is not just me. It's not just him. It's the whole league, other than Sean apparently.
yeah,
And there's probably a couple other teams, but wow, the injuries has been tough, and finding replacements to sustain those points from the starters is near impossible. It feels like so
yeah.
very very tough. It's also felt. Maybe you give me your opinion on this. It feels like a tight waiver wire this year too. Is that because we added an extra roster spot, or do you think it's just a tight waiver wire in fantasy football in general?
Um. Okay, so across my leagues, I've got this one league where like every time guys are highlighted on the waiver wire, they happen to be available in that league. So I think that's
Yeah,
just a league that's not as
roster.
like that's exactly yeah yeah. Otherwise, it's pretty consistent that it is slim pickings, and yes, I do think so. So an extra roster spot on everybody's team is 12 players. Think about the waiver wire. You're usually talking about 6 to 7 right? And so
Yeah,
those guys are
yeah.
gone. So I do think that has a lot to do with it. And then it happens to match up with a slim year also.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's not a lot of value on there. We just had to pick up Flacco for our super
Yeah.
flex, the diabolical dart team. So now he is joining the dart side with us, and hopefully we're taking that 2-3 team to at least the playoffs. Hopefully,
Come on.
after getting another loss there too. But every other league, I mean, again, I have those two that are somewhat struggling, and then every other team's looking good. And really, injury wise, I haven't been hit up, and that's one of the reasons, knock on
Wow.
wood, for the other teams. But this one, and then we're in Hampton. That was big for me because of all the exposure I have on other leagues, but also in best ball too. That just stinks. He was doing so well too. He was doing
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
Not happy to see that. Let's see who else. So Jetup almost got the um, immunity with 160 points. This was kind of like sneaky. Coyotes scored 122. Jetup scores 160. So let's stick with Jetup. And how do you feel about this team? Is this a team that you think could kind of turn it on? And then he's 4-1, just as same record as you. Is this a team that can continue to have success?
Yeah, I just like these teams that are, and even if it's like how I mentioned with ladies, like I like that these teams are showing consistently high outputs in their totals. Like that at this like midway point of the season, I think is crucial. He lost last, so he was number one in the league last week. I happened to beat him, but he still had 130. And
Right.
so to come back from that and go and put up 160 when I think we were like 4 points was our
Right, right.
difference
I
in
remember that.
points,
Yeah, yeah.
and he just went up, man. Now 30 points.
Hmm.
That's huge. So yeah, this is a solid team, and he's playing without Jaden Daniels.
He made a good start.
He
He
did
started Justin Fields over Jaden Daniels, and it
right,
was the right decision. That
right,
was a good play. That was a good play. And this is
yeah,
again the terrible players that he drafted. Remember, he made the comment.
yeah,
He's like
yeah,
these
yeah,
awful group of players that I always draft. They're playing well. HM, we can continue to talk about that. Montgomery had a big narrative and storyline heading into that game and played
yeah.
well. Ferguson has been a really sneaky tight
Oh, he's
end, and I'm
great.
happy about that in general. I have a lot of Ferguson, but not this league, obviously, and he's playing well there. Then Justin Fields, what a great pickup! Like that dynamic duo of getting um, Jaden Daniels and then Justin Fields is exactly what I was doing in a lot of my best ball leagues. He does it in this redraft league, and it's working out for him
And
perfectly.
it worked. and
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
to start the right guy, right? And he did, and it really worked. And that's why we're finding that in these recent years, having two quarterbacks is actually really valuable.
yeah,
Instead of, let's
yeah.
say, 5 to 6, 7 years ago, it was like just get one quarterback and forget about it. It's
Yep.
really valuable because he can. I mean, 10 points is the difference between what Daniels and Fields scored. It's a big deal. That
Yeah.
160 looks really shiny. Not that 150 doesn't, but it's a big difference. And he's just got
Yeah.
these guys on his team, and he's got two Lions that just
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
stop producing. Like
No.
Montgomery will not stop.
Scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's the other guy? Oh, well, I'm on Ra.
Amon Ra,
Oh
who is
my
just
God.
dominant.
Beast. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
beast. So very interesting there. I think he has a good team. I think he can continue doing this. A lot of points. He's 4-1. We have a lot of 4-1 teams too. So he's on the right side going into the almost the second half of the year. Let's see who else we got. Giants and Cowboys who got the win, stays undefeated. Played Gangrene who was 3-1 and Gangrene unfortunately loses and goes to 3-2. Let's look at these teams. So Stafford again put up another 30 plus
Yep.
points for him, which is nuts. Geno Smith obviously didn't play well. Does he have did he start Geno Smith over Love again? Oh no, Love didn't have a game. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt
Thankfully.
had 18. And the other thing too, I was kind of battling this 119. This was the low score other than mine, and I
Hmm.
only needed 5 more points. So even if I didn't win the game and I had another 5 points from any of my jabronis
Yeah.
that are starting, I would have not been eliminated. So Gangrene with 119, low score, and then Giants and Cowboys just about average, a little over average at 134. Is this 5-0 team just going to keep rolling? Does he have anybody that's going to stop him? What do you think about the Giants and Cowboys team?
Well, it's really hard to say. He's 5-0. He's in first place. Like, could he keep doing it? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he could keep
yeah,
doing it. And if he's got Stafford after losing Burrow, so he's also been hit by the injury bug,
right,
and he's
right. He
got
was.
Stafford in the last 2 weeks has put up 60 plus points for him. That's that's a big deal. He's got Addison who has finally come back from his suspension and his 1 quarter suspension too. I don't know if you saw that, but
Yeah, I did. I
he
did.
so yes, he can, especially because of people like Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I know.
But
Consistent.
it can exactly. But is he putting up the numbers that Uncle Buck and Jetta put up and and DeChamp put up? No, right? Like he's not having those games. And we could take a look just to be sure, but he's not having those types of games, which makes him seem a little bit not pedestrian, but a little bit more like defeatable. And so in
Yeah.
the meantime, he's just going to stay up there. But as we look to next week, does he get his first loss? It's got to be coming. I don't think it's a team that can go 14-0.
I wonder. I mean, he has CJ Stroud on his bench who scored 36 points. Darren Waller, who has been interestingly like
Yeah,
very involved and very in
yeah,
producing, and then Kendre Miller, who has been more involved in the running game there in New Orleans. So
yeah.
interesting to see what he'll do going forward. I don't think he'll stay undefeated, but I do think he might keep winning. I mean, he's putting up these decent. He's doing a combination of putting up enough points to win games, but also running into people who are not putting up enough points to win games. So and again, he's mentioned that it's just a fact, but it's a combination of he's also putting up enough points too to win most of these games too.
He is. So he put up 106, 139, 120, 143, 134. So
So really,
he's
just 1 week was bad.
really just 1 week exactly, and the rest of the weeks were very very solid.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
opponents 104, 107, 80, 125, 119. So
yeah. I wish.
yeah, I know. So I think you nailed it on the head with like he's got both sides of the
Yeah,
recipe that he needs.
yeah. He does. He does. So let's see if we got anybody. But I mean, he's playing well. I mean, he's doing really well. He's number one
He's
in the
got a great
league right
team.
now. He's got a good team, so not bad for Philadelphia Eagles. Suck. They are going to possibly end in the top two spots and potentially get a bye moving forward.
Yeah.
Do we hit everybody? I think we hit. Did we hit Ladies Love G-Man? Coyotes. Yep. Pack Attack, Uncle Buck. Yeah, we got everybody. So let's look at the standings real quick. I know I
Yeah.
mentioned that you were in that has the highest winning streak, other than Philadelphia Eagles suck, and now I can't even find the. All right, let's go here. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how the separation of the league will go too, because I
Mhm.
know that it's potentially going to cause issues for teams that are out of it. What happens if there's four teams or so that's like 1-7 or 1-8? Do they continue to fight? You know what I mean? Like I want,
Yeah.
and not to say they
Right.
won't, but like it's just a weird position to be in for the separation. And of course, you have the ones that are on top. Do they kind of just cruise into the playoffs? Is it we've been talking about playoff bubbles a lot over the last couple of years. Is there going to be a playoff bubble this year? So I just wonder how that all shakes up.
Yeah.
And then our points for, let's see who are, so Uncle Buck is number 1 overall, and DeChamp is number 2 overall in points, but he moved to 5th because he's actually lost. So he's 3-2. Wow. Wow. So that is an interesting
Really interesting.
development. Yeah. And then you have 4 teams with 4 or more wins, with Giants and Cowboys at number 1, but then Uncle Buck, Jet Up, and Ben's. Wow. Interesting. So out of these teams right now, if you look at these teams, and I talked to Ben, I think we're going to do the way too early playoff bracket either next week or the week after. So we'll either do it after 6 weeks, or after 7 weeks. So we'll decide, and let you guys know and come out with that. But just looking at the top 6 teams right now, all 3-2 or better, who are the 2 teams that you are most scared to face if playoffs were to start today?
Oh man, that's so tough. I think right away it's Uncle Buck.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
he's got the most points for. He's just like had really dominant wins, and he hasn't really had a bad week. And let me just double check that I'm right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the lowest he's scored is 124. That's dangerous.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
not good. And the second lowest he's scored is 20 more points than that. So it's not even like he's hovering around that area. So really scary team there. Does he continue to not get hit by the injury bug? Does he continue to put up that much? If he can make it out of harm's way,
Yeah.
alive, he's going to be really tough to match. So that's my first one. The second one is between DeChamp and Giants and Cowboys. I think just because DeChamp has shown that he can be beaten, and there are some like soft spots there. If things go the right way, I still think he's a dominant team. I think Matt might have a little bit of the magic this year that you need
Okay.
to win a fantasy championship. Like he might just have that on his side. 5-0 is really really hard to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's tough, and especially in a league like this where you got 3 other 4-1 teams, 3-2 teams. Like you've even got 1-4 teams who are showing that they are solid teams, and he's just been going through the whole field here. So I'm going to say those 2 teams for those reasons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree, definitely. And then this week, upcoming week 6, we're almost halfway through the week, or the year.
Yeah.
So we're up to week 6. Let me pull these guys up. So I play you. So we have our annual game. I think it's the only game this year that we play each other. So it's going to be a big one because you want to keep winning, of course, and I
Yeah.
need a win. And I'm not just saying that in theory. I think at 1-5 it's just nearly impossible, so I need a win. You want to keep winning, so that's a big game, and it's the podcast feud and the
Yeah.
matchup for the podcast, so that'll be fun to kind of sweat and see how that goes. We're projected really next to each other,
Oh
and
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
have to start some of these randos, but we'll get over it. And then you got Jet Up playing Brady Gaga, who maybe he has another upset. You got Champ is here and Back Attack. They're kind of neck and neck. Gangrene and Uncle Buck. I think that was the game of the week. I think game of the week for Yahoo. They selected the Uncle Buck and Gangrene matchup. Then you got Giants and Cowboys and Groovy Q. And the ladies love G-Men and Coyotes. So, and one of those teams have to win. They're both 1-4, and
Yep.
one of those teams have to win. One of those teams have to lose. So, give me a little, if you want to run down maybe quick fire
Yeah.
predictions for these matchups for week 6.
Yeah, again, I have to go with myself just because it's my team.
Mm.
I love that our projections are that close. But we'll go with Ben's there. Godfather slips to 1-5. I don't think Brady Gaga keeps the the streak in what he just did. I think Jet Up gets another, sizable margin of victory there. And then I do like to champ to get back on track here against Pack Attack, who unfortunately keeps the skid alive here. And then man, that Uncle Buck Gangrene game is going to be really fun. It's just going to be too hard to beat Sean right now, right where he's at. And then man, Q just upset you. I think I'd have to look more at his team and his roster for this week,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think I have to just say Q because Matt has to lose eventually. And what if this is, Q's been active making some trades and some pickups?
Yeah, yeah.
What if he gets another one here with the right combo of players? And then I'm going to take ladies to be the team that becomes 2-4, which means Pack Attack also will be 2-4 based on my other projection. And then things start getting interesting. Anything that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like vehemently disagree with, or
No. No, no, I think Ladies Love G-Men. I think I'll give her the win there. I think she wins there. Giants and Cowboys, I think just beats Q, but that'd be crazy if Q can pull off
yeah,
2 in a row. That would be much needed for him, but I think Matt gets that win. Uncle Buck, I agree with. I think he gets a win. The champ is here. Yeah, yeah, I think he wins that game. I don't know the buy situations for their team, but he's going to get back on track. And
yeah,
then Brady Gaga, again, he's almost like Q, where like they get a random win. It's like I guess you could get another random win. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
although it
yeah,
might just be unsustainable and inconsistent. So we'll see. Maybe I'll most likely Jet Up will win that game. And then
yeah,
for us,
yeah,
I gotta win. I'm going to take myself. I
yeah,
have a big game from one of these again random starts that I have to make for some injuries. Maybe something happens. And I get a spark for one of the big players and Gibbs or Abuka, and they go for 30.
yeah.
But again, I need more than 2 players to carry my team. I had about maybe 5 or 6 solid starters, and I'm down to like 2 solid starters. So it's going to make it really tough. But I got to win. It's a necessity at this point.
Yeah, and historically speaking, you usually do get the victory over me in different ways.
Yeah.
Not just fantasy, just like little things. You do find a way to end your losing streaks against me.
Okay.
So we'll see. Thankfully, I'm in an okay enough position where if that has to happen, I don't want it to happen, but I would love to go 5-1. Man, that'd be killer.
I
But we'll
know,
see.
and a lot of these teams have the chance to do that too. So definitely good luck. I'm
Yeah.
wishing you the best, but I'm like in a position where I wish I wasn't. I wish
I
you
know.
know way too early playoff bracket. It's just not going to be possible to be a part of that. So hopefully we can get some wins together and really make a push towards the end, or just stay in that picture. But
Yeah.
the league separation that we kind of thought was going to happen is happening, and that's going to either enhance this week, or it's going to maybe start to meld and come together a little bit. But definitely good luck. I'm hoping you do well in all fantasy, but this is a big year. I mean, you're coming off a win. You're 5-1. It's the 20th anniversary season. So if you had a year to have the things go right for you, this is the year to have that. And so I'm happy for you in that sense.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, to even think of getting close to winning a repeat championship is
Ooh,
is
ooh,
is crazy to think about, and it's possible. It's at least
it
possible through
is.
the first 5 weeks. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, good luck. It'll be a fun one at the
Yeah, it's
very
gonna be a good
least.
one. Enjoy your week 6. Have a good weekend. Watch some football, win some fantasy games, and good luck in our game too.
All right. Yeah, yeah. You as well. Way too early is upon us.
Very, very soon.
Yep. Have fun.